Welcome back to the Peak Performance Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Young, and today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating frontiers in fitness and longevity optimization: peptides. If you've been following the biohacking community, you've probably heard whispers about these powerful molecular tools, but today we're going to cut through the hype and explore the real science behind peptides and their potential to transform your fitness journey. Over the past decade, peptides have emerged from the shadows of clinical research labs into mainstream fitness discussions. These short chains of amino acids are proving to be game changers for recovery, muscle building, fat loss, and potentially even extending our health span. But with great power comes great responsibility and a need for education. Today's episode isn't about quick fixes or magic bullets. It's about understanding the science, recognizing the potential, and making informed decisions about whether peptides might fit into your peak performance toolkit. Understanding peptides, the building blocks of performance. Before we dive into the performance applications, let's establish what peptides actually are. Think of peptides as nature's text messages, short, specific sequences of amino acids that carry precise instructions to different parts of your body. While proteins are like novels with hundreds of pages, peptides are more like tweets, brief, targeted, and designed to get straight to the point. Natural production. Your body naturally produces thousands of peptides that regulate everything, from growth hormone release to tissue repair and immune function. Targeted action. Unlike broad spectrum supplements, peptides can target specific biological pathways with remarkable precision. Research foundation. Many peptides have decades of clinical research backing their safety and efficacy profiles. The beauty of peptides lies in their specificity. Where traditional supplements might affect multiple systems with varying degrees of success, peptides can be selected to target exact physiological processes. This precision is what makes them so compelling for performance optimization and why they require careful consideration and proper guidance. The recovery revolution: how peptides accelerate healing. Recovery is where champions are made, and peptides are rewriting the playbook on how quickly and completely our bodies can bounce back from training stress. The traditional approach to recovery, rest, nutrition, and time remains foundational, but peptides are adding a new dimension to the equation. BPC 157, often called body protection compound, has garnered significant attention in the recovery space. This naturally occurring peptide, found in human gastric juice, has shown remarkable abilities to accelerate healing of tendons, ligaments, muscles, and even bone tissue in research studies. Athletes report faster recovery from injuries that previously might have sidelined them for weeks or months. Enhanced tissue repair. Peptides like BPC 157 and TB 500 work at the cellular level to promote angiogenesis, the formation of new blood vessels, which brings crucial nutrients and oxygen to damaged tissues. This enhanced blood flow creates an optimal environment for healing. What's particularly fascinating is how these peptides seem to remember injury sites and continue providing protective and healing benefits long after administration. This systemic protection can help prevent future injuries in previously damaged areas. The inflammation response, while natural and necessary for healing, can sometimes become counterproductive. Certain peptides help modulate this response, reducing excessive inflammation while preserving the beneficial aspects of the healing process. This balanced approach to inflammation management is something that traditional anti-inflammatory medications often struggle to achieve. Building lean muscle. The growth hormone connection. When it comes to muscle building, peptides offer a sophisticated approach that goes far beyond simply increasing protein synthesis. The real magic happens through their ability to naturally optimize your body's growth hormone production and utilization, a process that tends to decline as we age but remains crucial for maintaining and building lean muscle mass. GH secretagogue peptides. Compounds like ipamorelin and CJC 1295 work by stimulating your pituitary gland to release more growth hormone naturally, preserving your body's natural rhythms and feedback mechanisms. Enhanced protein synthesis. Increased growth hormone levels lead to improved protein synthesis, better nitrogen retention, and more efficient muscle repair and growth processes. Improved sleep quality. Better sleep architecture means more time in deep sleep phases where the majority of muscle growth and recovery occurs naturally. What sets peptides apart from other muscle building strategies is their ability to work with your body's existing systems rather than overwhelming them. Traditional anabolic approaches often shut down natural hormone production, but growth hormone releasing peptides actually enhance your body's natural capacity to build and maintain muscle tissue. The benefits extend beyond just muscle size. Users often report improvements in muscle quality, definition, and functional strength. This isn't about adding bulk for bulk's sake. It's about optimizing your body's ability to build the kind of lean, functional muscle that enhances performance and longevity. The fat loss edge, metabolic optimization through peptides. Fat loss is where peptides demonstrate some of their most impressive capabilities, particularly for individuals who have hit plateaus with traditional diet and exercise approaches. The key lies in understanding that effective fat loss isn't just about creating a caloric deficit, it's about optimizing the complex hormonal and metabolic processes that determine how efficiently your body burns fat for fuel. Growth hormone releasing peptides play a crucial role in fat metabolism by enhancing lipolysis, the process by which stored fat is broken down and released for energy. This isn't just about burning more calories during workouts, it's about improving your body's 24/7 fat burning machinery. The metabolic benefits extend to insulin sensitivity, a critical factor that's often overlooked in fat loss discussions. Improved insulin sensitivity means your body becomes more efficient at utilizing carbohydrates for energy rather than storing them as fat while simultaneously making stored fat more accessible for fuel. Perhaps most importantly, peptides can help preserve lean muscle mass during caloric restriction. Traditional dieting approaches often result in muscle loss alongside fat loss, which ultimately slows metabolism and makes long term weight maintenance more difficult. By maintaining muscle mass and optimizing hormonal profiles, peptides support sustainable fat loss that doesn't compromise performance or metabolic health. The appetite regulation benefits cannot be understated. Many users report better appetite control and reduced cravings, particularly for high calorie, low nutrient foods. This isn't about suppressing hunger to unsustainable levels, but rather about helping restore natural satiety signals that may have become disrupted through years of dieting or metabolic dysfunction. Average body fat reduction, reported in clinical studies with GH releasing peptides over 12-week periods. Lean mass preservation, percentage of muscle mass retained during caloric restriction with peptide protocols. Metabolic rate, increase. Improvement in resting metabolic rate observed in research participants. Longevity and anti-aging, the fountain of youth connection. The longevity applications of peptides represent perhaps the most exciting frontier in human optimization. We're not talking about adding years to your life filled with decline and dysfunction. We're talking about extending health span, the period of life spent in good health, free from chronic disease and age-related limitations. The aging process involves multiple interconnected systems breaking down over time. Cellular repair mechanisms become less efficient, hormone production declines, mitochondrial function deteriorates, and inflammatory processes become chronic rather than acute and healing focused. Peptides offer targeted interventions for many of these age-related changes. Apidolon, a synthetic version of the naturally occurring peptide epithalamin, has shown remarkable promise in longevity research. Studies suggest it may help regulate circadian rhythms, improve sleep quality, and potentially even influence telomere length, the protective caps on chromosomes that shorten with age and cellular division. Cellular repair. Enhanced autophagy and mitochondrial function help cells maintain optimal performance and clear cellular debris more efficiently. Hormone optimization. Natural growth hormone production tends to decline by 1 to 2% per year after age 30. Peptides can help restore more youthful hormone profiles. Cognitive function. Some peptides cross the blood brain barrier and may support neuroplasticity, memory formation, and overall cognitive performance. Skin and appearance. Improved collagen synthesis and cellular regeneration often result in visible improvements in skin quality and appearance. The anti inflammatory effects of certain peptides may be particularly important for longevity. Chronic low grade inflammation, often called inflammaging, is implicated in virtually every age related disease, from cardiovascular disease to Alzheimer's. By helping regulate inflammatory responses, peptides may address one of the root causes of accelerated aging. Safety, considerations, and responsible use. With great power comes great responsibility, and peptides are no exception. While the potential benefits are compelling, it's crucial to approach peptide use with proper knowledge, respect for their potency, and ideally under professional guidance. This isn't about fear mongering, it's about maximizing benefits while minimizing risks. Important safety note: always consult with a qualified healthcare provider before beginning any peptide protocol. Individual responses can vary significantly, and what works for one person may not be appropriate for another. Quality and sourcing. The peptide market is unfortunately filled with low quality, contaminated, or completely fake products. Legitimate research peptides should come with certificates of analysis showing purity levels, typically above 98%. Many online sources sell peptides that are either inactive or potentially dangerous. Working with a knowledgeable healthcare provider who can prescribe pharmaceutical grade peptides is often the safest approach. These products undergo rigorous testing and quality control measures that research chemicals simply don't. Dosing is another critical consideration. More is not better with peptides. In fact, many work optimally at very specific dosages, and exceeding these amounts can lead to diminished effects or unwanted side effects. The research on optimal dosing protocols is still evolving, which is why professional guidance becomes even more important. It's also worth noting that peptides are not magic bullets. They work best as part of a comprehensive approach to health and performance that includes proper nutrition, regular exercise, adequate sleep, and stress management. Using peptides to compensate for poor lifestyle choices is unlikely to yield the desired results and may even be counterproductive. Start conservative. Begin with lower doses and single peptides rather than complex stacks to assess individual response and tolerance. Monitor closely. Regular blood work and health markers help ensure peptides are having the desired effects without causing unwanted changes. Cycle appropriately. Many peptides work best when used in cycles rather than continuously, allowing the body to maintain sensitivity and natural function. Practical implementation. Getting started safely. If you're considering adding peptides to your performance optimization toolkit, the key is starting smart, starting safe, and starting simple. The world of peptides can feel overwhelming with dozens of different compounds, complex protocols, and conflicting information online. Here's how to navigate this landscape intelligently. The first step isn't choosing a peptide, it's establishing your baseline. This means comprehensive blood work to understand your current hormone profiles, inflammatory markers, and overall health status. You can't optimize what you don't measure, and you can't track progress without knowing where you started. Health assessment, complete physical exam, comprehensive metabolic panel, hormone testing, and discussion of goals with a qualified healthcare provider. Education phase. Research specific peptides relevant to your goals, understand potential side effects, and learn proper handling and administration techniques. Single peptide trial. Start with one well-researched peptide at conservative doses to assess individual response and tolerance before considering combinations. Monitoring and adjustment. Regular follow-up testing, symptom tracking, and protocol adjustments based on objective and subjective responses. For beginners, starting with growth hormone releasing peptides like ipamorelin or CJC1295 often makes the most sense. These have extensive research backing, relatively mild side effect profiles, and clear benefits that align with most fitness and longevity goals. They also work synergistically with good nutrition and exercise rather than requiring dramatic lifestyle changes. Administration is another practical consideration that many people underestimate. Most peptides require subcutaneous injection, which means learning proper injection technique, maintaining sterile procedures, and having appropriate supplies on hand. While this might seem daunting initially, most people find the process becomes routine within a few weeks. Timing matters significantly with many peptides. Growth hormone releasing peptides work best on an empty stomach, typically before bed or first thing in the morning. Recovery peptides might be most effective post workout when tissue repair processes are naturally activated. Understanding these nuances can mean the difference between mediocre results and transformative ones. The future of human optimization. As we wrap up today's deep dive into the world of peptides, it's worth reflecting on what this all means for the future of human performance and longevity. We're living in an unprecedented time where the tools for optimizing our biology are becoming more sophisticated, more targeted, and more accessible than ever before. Peptides represent a paradigm shift from the one-size-fits-all approach of traditional supplementation to precision interventions that can be tailored to individual needs and goals. This isn't just about getting bigger, stronger, or leaner. It's about optimizing the very systems that determine how well we age, how quickly we recover, and how effectively our bodies perform the millions of processes that keep us healthy and vital. The research pipeline is incredibly exciting, with new peptides and applications being discovered regularly. We're likely only scratching the surface of what's possible when we learn to work with our biology rather than against it. But perhaps most importantly, peptides remind us that peak performance isn't about finding shortcuts or magic solutions. It's about understanding and optimizing the incredible machine that is the human body. Whether you choose to explore peptides or not, the principles remain the same. Respect your biology, invest in your health, and never stop learning about what makes you perform at your best. That's a wrap on episode 57 of the Peak Performance Podcast. Remember, the journey to peak performance is highly individual, and what we've discussed today should be considered educational information, not medical advice. Always work with qualified professionals when making changes to your health and performance protocols. And until next time, keep optimizing, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.